What's up? We're back. So Grayson had this idea for the intro. What is that? We're back. That actually took like way longer. That took way too long, and it's gonna be so stupid. Hello, my name is Ethan. What the heck is that? I don't talk like that at all. That was your idea. All right, I had to burp, but it's like I'll help you. No. Burp the baby. It's time to film.
We're so off track right now.
What's up, Bax? We're guys. We both said that wrong at the same time. Really? Yeah. This crazy telling, we're gonna be Childhood Stories Week. We said that wrong also at the same time. Actually, we're back and we're gonna be telling crazy childhood stories this week. So Grayson has this weird thing where he doesn't remember anything correctly unless it was like 7 years ago plus. To prove my point, Grayson, what did we do last night?
From what I remember, we made apple cinnamon brown sugar applesauce, right?
No, Grayson, we actually went to the depot and bought some lug nuts. I can't say it! You get what I mean? Grayson has short-term memory loss, okay? Which is okay for this video because we are going to be recalling the craziest childhood stories that we had.
So a lot of you guys know us by now. We're pretty crazy people.
Well, we like to think we are.
I mean, I would pretty much do anything that anyone challenged me to do because you live once and because I'm freaking stupid.
Nowadays, Grayson and I have cameras and YouTube to capture ourselves doing all these stupid, crazy things.
But we didn't always have cameras to film the crazy things that we did.
Nor did we have a place to post them. You guys are probably not gonna think some of these stories are true. I promise you that they are.
Trust me, they are. We're just like really
we're just weird.
Alright. Story number 1. This story starts with Ethan and I as babies. I'm talking like a year and a half old.
I'm talking I had more hair on my feet than I did on my head back then.
Ethan and I could full out sprint at 10 months old. Don't know how we learned how to do this.
Don't know how you remember this.
So my mom is driving us home from the grocery store.
Buckled up in our car seats. When my mom buckled me into my high chair or a car seat, she had to cross the straps because if not, I could climb out of them and I would just jump around. One time I was in my high chair and I wiggled out of the straps and I dove headfirst onto the ground. That's probably why I have these thoughts.
That's besides the fact. My mom goes to the back of the car, opens the trunk, and grabs the groceries. This is when Ethan and I came up with this plan to run into the house, lock my mom out. I don't even know how we knew to lock the door or anything like that.
Mind you, we couldn't even speak English yet.
We couldn't. So
we couldn't speak any language. We just did this stuff. Alright, go.
So my mom had to make like a short 15-second walk maybe around to the front of the house to get in because she was locked out of the garage. So when my mom walked in, Ethan was standing on top of the counter spooning out handfuls of candy from this jar that my mom hid on the top shelf.
How do you spoon things with your hands? Like this. Okay. I don't need to know anymore.
I was catching them in my shirt like so and running up to our room. I don't know how a 1-foot kid gets on a 4-foot counter. That doesn't make sense to me. He must have stood on my head or something like that, but we got the candy and we started getting crazy.
Next story, this one's about me. I remember this vividly. I was probably like 4 years old. I went into our backyard and there was a bunch of pine trees all next to each other. I remember climbing one of the trees. I slithered out onto a branch and I purposely hooked myself by my underwear on a branch.
I round the corner. I see Ethan like 6 feet in the air dangling by his underwear. I didn't know what to do. I was like, Ethan, how'd you get up there? He's like, no, it's fun. I want to be up here. Don't leave me.
My ass was on fire, but I was having the time of my life.
We've always had this weird passion for just like
torturing ourselves.
Just doing the stupidest things to ourselves.
Honestly, I honestly think we just do this because we don't think that life should be serious.
Yeah.
It's a joke, honestly.
It is.
Everyone gets dead.
Story number 3. Full savage.
Oh my gosh, I didn't really remember this one until Grayson said it.
So we're still about 4 years old in this story. You know, when you're 4 years old, you can't stay home alone, so your parents probably have to get you a babysitter. Luckily for us, our babysitter was very cute. She was probably about a junior in high school, like our age now. You kissed her first. Okay, so
I remember.
We were all sitting on the edge of my bed like this, and we were telling scary stories or something like that.
I don't really remember how I made the move.
I do. I look over, and I see Ethan like, He's like smiling and looking at her. Obviously we both had such a big crush on this girl. He leans in and he kisses her on the cheek.
Oh, I went to cheek first.
You went to cheek. I was like, Ethan, what?
I took the steps.
I was like,
not gonna lie, I'm feeling like the man right now.
The girl looks at me and like was giggling, and she was like looking at the both of us. And as she turned her head towards me, I leaned in and I kissed her on the lips. And it got so awkward. I was just smiling and everyone was like, what?
I knew that was unacceptable to do that, Grayson.
I didn't know any better.
Sorry, babysitter. Number 4. This story takes place about a year later from the last story. I had recently seen bungee jumping on television. Then I remembered these things that my dad had in our garage called bungee cords. I was like, oh, that's what that must be. At this house that we were living in, our next door neighbors had a swing set. A pretty big swing set, or at least it looked like that because I was microscopic. Grayson and I snuck into their backyard one day when they weren't home and went on the swing set with a bunch of bungee cords. So I'm pretty sure when you go bungee jumping, you're supposed to tie the cords around like a metal post or part of a bridge or something that's really sturdy. In this case, I used my younger brother who is 5 pounds heavier than me.
I was always the bigger twin, so I always got stuck doing the more boring job, like holding Ethan up to get him in a tree or holding onto a bungee cord to let him have the time of his life jumping off a swing set.
Or, at this point, what we thought was going to be the time of my life. Grayson was holding the edge of the bungee cord with 2 hands like this, and I took the end like this. So it had a hook on it, and I grabbed it like this with 1 single finger. So I jumped off, and on my way down, somehow my little finger slipped off the hook.
And somehow my little mouth ate the hook.
Since we weren't supposed to be at our neighbor's house, we ran home, and then I started to perform first aid on Grayson.
And then I went to the hospital after my mom saw me bleeding
On the family room table. Number 5.
This story takes place about 2 days after the last story does. I don't know if you can see from there, but I have a scar on my lip and I also have one on my chin directly under that. So it was a nice summer afternoon
And we were at the park eating cheeseburgers.
But when Ethan and I were little, we never stopped to eat while we were playing. And I also didn't use the stairs. I would go up the slide, the back end, and run up because I was cool. Okay? And I ran up the slide with my mouth full of cheeseburgers. So on my way up the slide, I slipped and I fell. I fell directly on the stitches that I got 2 days ago in my lip. And while sliding down the slide on my face, I managed to cut my chin open. And later that night, I had to get 7 more stitches in my lip and 7 more on my chin, but I didn't spit out the cheeseburger. Just goes to show how much I love food.
Number 6.
So in this story, we weren't quite old enough to ride the school bus yet.
However, we were old enough to borrow one of our neighbor's paintball guns.
We're in elementary school, and our sister is 2 years older than us, who was in middle school at this time.
She rode the bus, and we were super jealous of her because the bus was awesome.
The bus was cool, dude.
At this point, we got home from school about a half hour earlier than our sister did. And every single day of the week, I'm sorry, Cameron.
This is horrible. This is so bad thinking about it. Like, no wonder she hates us.
So Grayson and I would hide in the bushes at the end of our driveway and shoot our sister with a paintball gun every single time she got home from school.
Every single time she got off the bus, we were there like, ah!
And so she wouldn't tell us, we let her paintball us back. So what was the point of paintballing her? To get paintball? There was no point of this!
Again, I think we just like torturing ourselves. It's bad, dude. Like, why are we like this? Why am I like this? I don't understand. Number 7.
This story takes place when we were finally cool enough to ride the bus.
We had an old, grumpy bus driver who was very mean to kids. If you don't like kids, don't have a job where you have to work with kids.
We wanted to fix that. We wanted to, you know... No, we don't have to mess with them.
We looked a lot more alike when we were little, so we could pull off these pranks and stuff, where we would basically freak people out into thinking that they were seeing things because there was more than one of us.
Especially old people.
Yes. Like our bus driver. I swear, our bus driver did not look at the road the entire time he was driving.
Eyes in the mirror. I don't know how he did it.
Just looking in the mirror and staring at all of us, into our souls.
Yeah.
Just sucking our youth out of us. We were the last stop. Out of 100 kids on our bus, we were the last stop.
All the seats were empty.
Ethan and I would remove our seatbelts. Do not do this. I do not condone this.
Don't do this in a car on a bus.
And slide under seats into different rows in different sections of the bus.
So I would pop up in one seat in the back, and Grayson would pop up in the seat right next to him.
Then we would wait for him to put his eyes back on the road for 1 more second, and then switch up again. This guy was getting dizzy. I swear it was like really dangerous for us to do this, because he was like this. Number 8. This is called
the Naked Snow Run.
We would do the Naked Snow Run every year, every time it snowed, so it was like an annual thing.
This particular Naked Snow Run took place as soon as we moved to a different town and we were in a new neighborhood. The Naked Snow Run also took place in broad daylight.
We should say what the Naked Snow Run is. The Naked Snow Run is when Ethan and I get naked
and run in the snow. Dude, why? I don't know why. When did it start? Why has it not ended? After the plow truck came, there was huge mounds of snow. You know the naked mound laying down slide combo? That's about 7 points. The rest of my year would be complete if I had done this trick successfully and I won the naked snow run. I did a forward roll, I slid down the mound, and the ice cut my ass. It cut his whole left butt cheek right down. He had 2 butt cracks now. For that, I gave him the win. I won the annual naked snow run, but I couldn't sit for 2 weeks. However, my year was still complete.
What is wrong with us?
We're deep into this video, and what is wrong with us? Number 9.
I was always getting hurt. It was always me.
Grayson. He always had the boring job, and he was always getting hurt.
So we did this thing. Well, our sister tricked us into doing this thing.
She was like, hey guys, I think this would be really fun if I wrap you guys in a blanket like a burrito and then duct tape it shut and then bounce you on the trampoline.
We had our arms and legs taped together. We were burritos, basically, in blankets. Within 3 seconds, I was in the air, upside down, and I came crashing down onto the metal pole.
Gore
warning. Within a matter of seconds, my brains were spilling out on the trampoline.
I couldn't get out of the burrito. I was like, ah!
We went to the hospital, and Burrito Ethan was sitting there by my side the whole time.
And I was still in the burrito seat. I was just kidding. Number 10.
We saved this one for last because this was like right before we got our first video camera.
Like weeks before. Grayson had a broken knee and he was on crutches. For some reason, Grayson and I, literally just us two, walked our asses to the end of the block by a main road. There was a little grass patch chilling there that Grayson would crutch on, and as a car passed, I would come out of the woods and flying drop kick and drop kick him onto his face, and I'll land on my back. Why? I don't know why.
And then a car would stop and be like, they'd be like, oh my god, are you okay? Why did you do that? And then we'd be like, ah! Oh my god.
I guess it was always in us to just be idiots and try to make people laugh.
It was, but in that case, we weren't really making people laugh. We were making ourselves laugh. Moral of the stories, we always did really stupid things.
We post these crazy videos because, well, simply just because we have a camera on YouTube now. Also, after filming this video, I feel like this is a very necessary thing to say. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad.
Yes, I'm very sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I just can't say that I'm not going to continue to do stupid things.
And thank you guys for being a part of this conversation. We really needed someone to tell stories to.
We were just telling them to each other, and we were laughing, so we wanted to tell you guys, and hopefully you found some of them funny. Thumbs up if you want, honestly.
It's been a fun Tuesday, and subscribe and put our post notifications on because we post twice a week, and our next video is going to be on a random day this week.
So peace. We'll see you guys before next Tuesday.